Okay. I decided to document the process of making my wedding dress. This is really weird. I never video myself. Anyway, yeah, so I set up a tripod and I'm gonna try and do it, and then I'll try to edit everything together at the end into like a consecutive little movie, because I think it'll be kind of fun to show people, because I'm doing it mostly all alone, yeah, out of New Brunswick, this little house, so can't have help from grandma or mom or anyone else. And obviously Bran can't see anything, so yeah, I wanted a video to be able to show everyone like what it was like, so they could kind of be included at the end, hopefully. Okay, so it's hard to see. I totally forgot to do it this morning, and I already started, and I said I'd also record my time. So I probably worked on this for 2 hours this morning, like a hard 2 hours. So we're about 2 hours in. I'm drafting the pattern now. I used an old pattern that I had from the Givenchy dress I made for Matt and Katie's wedding. So I used that, and I kind of turned that pattern into one with like the leaves that the skirt will be. And yeah, I'm ready to test out that first mock-up now. It's definitely not going to be great. I think there's quite a few changes that need to be done, but we'll see when we get there. I also, on the plane ride and the drive and all the travels home, I kind of drafted up like the pattern mock-up, because I'm doing 5 panels for the bust instead of the 7 that I've done previously, so that was different. And then I also drafted out like really roughly what I wanted the dress to look like, and then a better depiction here. So yeah, just quickly, I wanted it to have the Audrey Hepburn shape, specifically the one that Claudette and I found at the vintage thrift store in Calgary, like Hello Vintage. Yeah, we found a dress that I loved, and I wanted to recreate it, but I wanted color, because when I was trying on wedding dresses, I loved the dress with color in it and all the color detailing. So this one's going to be the best of both worlds. It's got that shape, the Audrey Hepburn shape, and all of the detailing here will be colors. I'm going to use fabric from Mom, Grandma, Great Grandma, and maybe Claudette as well, wedding dress. So all 4 will be kind of combined into one and turned into mine. So hopefully that's special, or it will be special. It'll make it more special. Anyway, the idea is tight and fitted to about here, and then the lacing and color will flare out a little bit on its own with some of the stuff. Not sure what this is called. I think it's like Taylor's something. And then I'll have a chiffon skirt, maybe tulle if I can find something, and I'm not sure if there'll be color detailing in this. Maybe a tulle underlayer that's colorful. I don't know, haven't got there. I guess we'll try that out. We'll see what this looks like, and if the sharp break in color is really jarring, then I'll bring some color down, maybe in the form of either a lace on the first layer of chiffon, maybe on top, maybe some embroidery. I'm not sure. Beads, could be anything. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, so I worked that up, and then I worked out the maths on the airplane. That took a while, and I really had nothing to go on, so I actually just looked at pictures of me in the dress and used my hand kind of as like a size gauge, and just guesstimated on like how big everything should be. So yeah, this first mock-up's gonna be kind of rough. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm going. Here I am transferring the pattern I made onto a toile fabric so I can make a mock-up. Dude, look how many birds are outside my window. They're on that roof out there. Hang on. Let me see if I can get it to... Look at them all. Ignore how dirty my window is, please. So it was here that she realized she forgot to put seam allowance on the pattern pieces, which I normally don't do. I normally just do it like directly on the fabric. But I forget it all the time, so I should probably think about putting it on the pattern pieces. They're just harder to alter that way, but obviously I'm stupid and can't remember it. So anyway, so it was here she remembered that, and almost all the pieces are cut out, so we're just gonna keep cutting the pieces out, and it's just gonna fit small. But it's a first mock-up, so I kind of just want to see like the shape of everything anyway. Things we learn. This is a sped up clip of me sewing together the first mock-up, the one that doesn't have seam allowance. So yeah, this is gonna go great. Tilt it down. Okay, so I got the first mock-up, the one where like I forgot the seam allowance. Tired, clearly. And then I also forgot to make the center pattern piece like on the seam, so fail part 2. Anyway, so it like definitely doesn't fit, but it gave me an understanding of like the length and stuff like that. So okay, here I'll drop this down one more step and then you can see the length. So this is the length I wound up with. I got these triangles, so they're supposed to fall kind of like that, and I definitely have a better understanding of what I need to do and where I need to go from here. I do need to change like the length a little bit. I'm going to make a part in here a little bit shorter so that the triangles sit 1 inch higher. And I think the bodice shape can change a little bit. Anyway, what I'm gonna do from here is actually saran wrap myself, and I'm not going to use my old pattern. I'm going to try and, wow, crazy hair day. I'm gonna try and make one from scratch. So I'm gonna saran wrap myself and then cover myself in duct tape as per the internet, and then I'll cut myself out and hopefully, well, I'll first draw on the duct tape the pattern pieces I want, and then hopefully I can like cut that out and go from there. Hopefully this helps with like the sway back issue as well, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, it's dinner time, so I'm done for the day. That's a wrap. Okay, so I figured this was a pretty comedic moment that should be shared. I'm in a duct tape suit. Can't really move. Yep. We'll see how it works. Okay, so another day. Today I'm going to be making a pattern again. This one is based off the duct tape bodysuit that I did off camera because I totally forgot that that's what I was doing. But I did take a couple pictures of it, so they'll be inserted and then talked about. Anyway, yeah, so I'm taking that duct tape, laying it out on this paper I found at Kent. It's for flooring, but it's gonna be my new like pattern paper. Laying them out, making pattern pieces from them, and then I will sew those up with seam allowance this time, and see how it turns out, see how it fits. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So you get to watch that. This is me making the pattern from duct tape. I had some measurements from my body from the previous time, and I'd taken down a bunch of measurements from the duct tape, kind of averaged out both sides from what I'd drawn, because obviously the duct tape isn't the most accurate thing in the world. But yeah, then I just transferred it onto this paper. This took quite a while. I'm not very good at this. And also I found out that my tailor's tape is a little bit off when using the centimeter side, which is what everything for me is measured in. So yeah, had to fix that. That took a little bit, but you know, got her done. When I traced out the final pattern, once I was happy with it and traced it out on the fabric for the last time, I used Sharpie because I knew that the fabric would be thin enough that I'd be able to see the Sharpie through it. So it just kind of saved me a step from cutting this out before I knew it was perfect. So yeah. Okay, now you'll come with me and we're gonna do some ironing. Big time ironing. We're gonna iron all the fabric that I'm going to use for the toile. So yeah, lots of fabric. I'll set you up here so you can see what's going on. This is why I'm not a YouTuber. I also don't have an ironing board, so this is it. All the fabric used for the toile / mock-up was just this really cheap stuff that I found at the local fabric store in town. I think it was on sale for $2.50 a meter. So yeah, I just bought a ton of it and I've been using it for mock-ups for a while now. It works great. And here I trace over the patterns and I kind of trace over what I drew in Sharpie on the paper with a fun blue pen, marker, I don't know, one of the above. Anyway, I trace it onto my white toile fabric. Yeah, this was actually really easy. So yeah, love this part. Then it was finally time to cut the pieces. I bought myself this rotary cutter and a mat this year. Wow. Oh, game changers. I can't believe I was doing this so long without one. Yeah, and for seam allowance, I kind of just used the pink edge of the rotary cutter. Isn't it cute colors? I loved it. Anyway, yeah, I just used the edge of the rotary cutter, so I didn't even measure seam allowance. I just kind of used the edge of the rotary cutter. Everything worked out. The edge of the rotary cutter I did measure, though. It is 1 centimeter, so seam allowance is 1 centimeter. I also didn't make any, I don't know what they're called, but like the little triangles that you use to line up all your pattern pieces. I didn't use those. I just drew lines on the fabric itself for the waistline, the underbust, the overbust, the hip line, and then the top of this triangle. And I just line up those lines with each other. So each pattern piece has those blue lines drawn right on it. And I don't mind this at all because, you know, it's just a toile, so it doesn't matter how many lines are on it. It's fine. All the... Oh, I just realized I did something wrong. Okay, it's fine. I can fix it. Actually, I think I don't even need to. I think it's fine. I cut the center bodice not on the fold, but I cut 2 of them, so I'll just sew them together down the middle because I have seam allowance anyway, so should be fine.
Okay, so today's kind of a fun day. I'm going to prep all the fabric from Mom, Grandma, and Gigi Ma's wedding dresses, which means that I have to iron it and I'll steam it and just like kind of let the fibers relax again for the first time in a while because they've been boxed for so long. I've had them hanging for a couple days so that they can stretch out a little bit that way in like the natural drape that they should flow in. But yeah, so I'm going to prep all the fabric, but because they'll all be like steamed and ironed nice and stuff, I'm going to try all of them on and take photos.
So I started the ironing process with Mom's dress. It was definitely the easiest one to start with. It had barely any wrinkles in it and it's just the least amount of fabric. But I really love this one. It's got some really pretty lace and yeah, it was nice and easy to iron, so that was nice. Okay, and here's me ironing Grandma's dress. This one is a silk cotton. I didn't know that at this time, but I later figured it out through some experiments with like chemicals and fire and stuff. Anyway, yeah, this one was really easy to iron. I really just had to iron the silk lining underneath. It was beautiful. I love it a ton. Yeah.
Oh God, that's gorgeous. Like, look at the sheen on this. It's just incredible. It looks like pearl. Like a fabric made out of, you know, crushed pearl or something. It's just so beautiful. Like, I don't think you can see on camera, but the fabric just, it has this like sheen and shimmer, and it picks up like a couple of different colors of blue and maybe some pinks from the natural light coming through the window. Yeah, I love that. It's so pretty. So pretty. Good choice, Grandma. Okay, and the last gown I'll be ironing for today is Jijima's.
This dress was a little bit more difficult to iron than the others. It had a ton of gathers. It was definitely real silk. And there was just a lot more dress. The skirt was quite large, actually. I was really surprised once I started ironing it how long it took, but yeah.
Although I do plan on having the silk covered in the lace from the other two gowns, I expect Jijima's to be, man, this is a light fiber. Holy smokes. So yeah, I do expect it to be covered in lace, so all of the stains and stuff that might have occurred during Jijima's wedding won't be really visible in my gown. And I really don't mind if they are. Honestly, I think that repurposing fabric is like the way to go. I really like doing it, and like a little bit of stain kind of just tells a story. And Jijima can't be there at my wedding, but her dress can be, and so can the stains and the memories that she left behind at hers. So I think that's kind of sweet. She did a phenomenal job on the baby hem here. Very, very well done. I cannot baby hem like that. Yeah, no.
I knew Jijima's dress was fully silk because silk couldn't be purchased in North America at the time that this dress would have been made. And although she could have purchased special fabric and had it, you know, sent over across the ocean from England, I highly doubt that she did. And even if she did, according to the internet, the polyester silk at the time, or the fake silk, wasn't very high of quality, and this feels like a really high quality silk. I'm actually fairly confident that this silk is a silk charmeuse, which has a satin weave and is very liquid-like, shines, and frays really easily. Apparently it's really hard to work with, which is kind of terrifying, and I guess that it's impossible to find the grain line once you've cut it off the selvage. So yep, future Sewing Ava is going to have a great time with this one, but I think it's so beautiful, it's going to be worth it. Okay, so here is Mom's gown. This is a close-up of the front of it. It's got those buttons that I said I loved, the lace, the off the shoulders, very cute. Yeah, and it's a two-piece and basically doesn't wrinkle because it was in a shoebox forever, and no wrinkles. So yeah. This is the full. It has this beautiful bottom that I love as well. Yeah, very beachy. I love so many parts of this dress. It's just gorgeous. Back. This beautiful pattern goes all the way across. And yeah, I think this is just like such a gorgeous gown. I feel so torn taking it apart. But yeah, I know that it's going to have real special meaning for me. And Mom gave me her blessing, so yeah. How pretty. Okay, so here is dress number 2, the close-up part. So this is the yoke that I was talking about, and then the skirt is made in 3 panels. There's 1 front panel gathered at the top, 2 back panels with a large zip down the back. The lining is this absolutely stunning, do you see this? Like satin in this like pearl shimmer. Super gorgeous with the lace overlay. It's actually quite an itchy lace. I would have been scratching myself all night long. But it has these long sleeves, not lined, so the skin detail, the high neck with some lace detailing at the front as well. And then also, again, perfect length for me, because we're all the same height apparently, even though I thought I was quite a bit taller than Grandma, but maybe Grandma wore heels or something, I don't know. But yeah, this is the back. And this is the front. It's very of its time, I think. I'll have to look at some other gowns from the era and what everyone was doing, but yeah, I actually kind of like it. It's really fun. It reminds me of Anne of Green Gables a little bit, but yeah, super pretty. And I'm really excited for the lace as well, but definitely gonna need to put a lining on the lace so it's not quite so itchy. The bottom is quite gorgeous. Hard to see here, but yeah, it's got this really nice trim bottom, and the satin again, which might be silk, still trying to figure it out. Stunning. Okay, third dress on, as much as it's going to be. I couldn't get the back fully done up because, there's a million buttons, and I think I have larger forearms than Gigi Ma did, because the sleeves are quite tight. So I couldn't reach behind me the way that I normally can to do up the buttons. Definitely a dress that needs someone else to push you in it. But yeah, it's very gorgeous. Wait till you see it. Okay, so we'll do the same run through as the other one. Okay, so run through. This is the bodice. We have these padded shoulders that are giving a little bit of puff sleeve. And then it's a fitted top with whatever this waist is called. It's almost an illusion basque. Yeah, very pretty. I'm sure Gigi Ma wore something white underneath so it wasn't so see-through. But yeah, the silk is amazing. The sleeves are just stunning. They have these buttons on the inside that I also didn't do up, but yeah, they're gorgeous sleeves. And this is the forearm section where it's quite tight on me, but yeah, very lovely. This is from the front. I love the piping here. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm sure she wore a petticoat or something light, I think. And then there's this interior, oh sorry, I know the name of it, but I forget it right now. It's this stiff weave, classic weave fabric that helps hips protrude a little bit, but I think it would work a lot better if you had a petticoat or something like that. Again, is perfect. This one doesn't have a train. So funny, all 3 don't have a train, and that was the first thing that I knew I didn't want was the train. So maybe that's genetic as well. I don't know, who knows. The back is truly a masterpiece. It's these buttons that run all the way up and down the back. Absolutely stunning. And yeah, like I said, I couldn't get them all the way closed, but super gorgeous back. So this is the dress. I'll give you a twirl. so pretty. I feel like a princess in this one. Yeah. The neighbors must think I'm crazy. It's extra awkward because I know all of them really well. So, but they'll all get the scoop here soon enough. I'm sure it'll come up in conversation that I'm making a wedding dress, and then they'll understand what I'm doing, you know? Here's me working on another mock-up. This time I'm just doing some alterations, and hopefully it'll fit a little bit better than the last one. I threw a zip in just to make everything easier, but the final one won't have that zip. I also cut out a couple boning channels here. Well, not professional ones, but you know. Okay, so this is the first fitting of the bust, which will be probably the hardest part of this project, I'm assuming. It's why I'm starting with it. I still have no idea how I'm going to do the corselet / like two bust fashion fabric. Like I couldn't even tell you how many layers. Okay, so that's besides the point. Here I have the first prototype. Well, actually, technically this is the second, but this is the first one that actually looks good. So it's too big, quite a bit too big. You can see like there's like a bunch of extra, and then obviously it's way too big in the bust area as well, so I need to take that down. So here I'm trying to figure out where exactly everything needs to come down. I decided to take it down in the waist section and then also the bust area, so just kind of from like the waist up. I left the hips because they seemed to fit really well, and I liked the amount of flare that the petals had at the bottom. I also liked the length of the petals, so I didn't do any alterations there. I did notice that I needed to change like the shape of the bust at the top as well, so I don't think I touched that on the first try though, but here I am kind of showing that. Did you get all that? Sorry my face was out of that for like 99% of it. Really not good at the filming thing. Good thing this is just for family. But yeah, that's the first prototype. Ignore all my dishes, I'm making dinner. Okay. Yeah. I'll see you again in a bit. I also did a quick experiment to see if the silk was what I thought it was by just placing a bunch of silk in bleach and also wool, because I heard that protein fibers will melt in bleach. This is me trying on the second prototype and reshaping the top of it. I definitely liked the fit a little bit better, but it wasn't quite perfect, so I had to go back. And here I'm making the final changes, and hopefully this is it. Here I actually really enjoyed the shape and everything fit really well, so I decided to keep it this way. Before I signed off on the pattern as being perfect, I had to add a bunch of boning channels and boning because everything fits different with boning, so here I'm doing that. I didn't add all of the boning channels that I will in the final, but I added the ones that are necessary, and I'm actually really happy with how it fit. So yeah, I decided that this would be the final fit. I just placed an order of bones from Farthington in Ontario, and I decided to go with that company because well, they're in Canada, so they ship to Canada, and I also couldn't get the metal bones that I think I'll need for this project / that I want for this project from the fabric store in town, because when I used bones from the fabric store in town for my previous dress, the Givenchy remake, after the like half day of wear that I did, or I guess like one night, they completely misshaped themselves. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but they were basically broken by the end of the night, and if I was to wear that bodice again, I would have to put new bones in it. And for me, that just feels cheap. And I think I want something that feels better. So yeah, I ended up getting 10 meters of spiral steel boning and 10 meters of the white boning, which is like a spring steel boning. Okay, back to this little science experiment. So the Givenchy silk did not disintegrate, and it just bleached itself. Jijima's silk also did not disintegrate. Grandma's silk also did not disintegrate. It did have these little floaties on it. I'm trying to show that here, but it doesn't show up. But the yarn, the wool, it did disintegrate, so not sure what to think about that. Here I'm unpicking everything, and I'm going to turn it into a pattern now. So this took ages, but I watched a video, something on YouTube about how to make a dress, I think. Okay, so I just finished unpicking the top that I made so that I have all of the pattern pieces that fit me properly. There's only 2 pattern pieces that I need to change, which is crazy. I feel like it's going too well, so I think I'm gonna run into problems here soon. But anyway, yeah, so this is the one pattern piece that I need to change, and that's the other side of it, and then this is the other pattern piece that I need to change. So just the both of the side pieces, both the front side and the back side piece. Yeah, and I just need to take them in at the seams. It's like not that big of a change at all. Yeah, you can see the purple line. That's the new seam line. Okay, so the 2 pieces that I need to change, actually I can show you what this looks like right here, because I think I didn't do this last time. Okay, so these are the pattern pieces. You can kind of see them here. The light is a little bit weird on them, especially on the camera. But we have the center front, the front side, the back side, and the center back. Here's me retracing out the pattern pieces and fixing all of the edits that I kind of want to do to them. This takes quite a while. It's rather frustrating. Then I finally get to cut out the pattern pieces. This was really satisfying and yeah, super fun. So felt really good to do. Anyway, the cutting out of this pattern, this finished pattern, is the end of the video. So thanks for watching.